I'm going to have to pause this. I'm getting a phone call. As you can see, I'm night riding. And I thought, since my vision's not working good tonight, can't really go that fast, I thought I'd make a little video to tell you 3 things you may not know about e-bikes. I've had this e-bike for a little while now, a couple months, long enough to break things already, of course, and I got some flack about it because I do ride my regular bike a lot. And you know, everyone's perception, if you haven't ridden one, is that it's gonna be, you don't have to do any of the work. It's gonna kill your fitness. You just sit on here like it. I guess they think it has a throttle. I don't know, but it doesn't. But tip number 1 is, if you're doing any type of recovery ride or long, low intensity endurance ride or a zone 2 ride, these things are fantastic, man. Used to, doing a long zone 2 ride, I would kind of ride what I call the bottom trails at my parks, where you don't go up the hill to the top of the mountain. And that's where most of the really fun trails are, up there. So you just ride around on the more boring, to me, more boring XC type trails, and because you're trying to maintain your heart rate. I can go up there on the Amish bike zone 2, but I really have to pay attention and be real careful, or I'll find myself out of zone, and then that defeats the whole purpose of a zone 2 ride. So with this, you can do that. I've done 3-hour zone 2 rides on this bike, and I can ride anywhere I want in my park, man. It's great. As long as I'm mindful of my zone on the descents, I can just set and spin, go anywhere, ride the good trails, which brings up point number 2 that I didn't think about. Maybe you did, I didn't. But when you do a 3-hour low intensity endurance ride, it's 30 something miles or whatever, you know. You are pulling wheel lifts, front and rear, root gaps, hops, jibs on a 50 something pound bicycle. And what that's doing is making you stronger, your upper body stronger. But when you get on your regular bike that's 30 whatever pounds, I race enduro, so I don't exactly have the lightest bikes in the world. I have to run DH casing tires, and my bikes are heavy anyways, but this bike is heavier, and it's making my upper body, my arms and my hands, shoulders, in better shape and stronger on the regular bike. And I never thought about that. So since I've had this, I've tried to do all my little trail gaps, and by trail gaps I don't mean a jump, I mean a root to root something, a jump from here to over there, fun jib type thing on the trail. And some of them we have, if you stop and look at them, they're pretty sizable. And I was worried about doing them on this bike, and I've gotten to where I can do them on this e-bike every bit as good as the other bike. Well, now on the other bike, they're easier because I'm stronger, and I'm actually starting to look for bigger ones on the regular bike, because my pull is better, for lack of a better saying. A better way to describe that, my pull is better. So it's really good. The third thing is something I really didn't think about. So flatter trails, which I generally find kind of boring or whatever, you know, there's suddenly a lot of fun on the e-bike, and that's because you can go fast on them. You know, you want to take a boring trail, make it more fun, just go faster, right? Well, on an e-bike you can do that. But my third tip isn't that. My third tip that I didn't know about e-bikes is, because I can ride at a higher rate of speed for longer periods of time, because it doesn't require as much fitness, high intensity fitness, my perception of speed is getting better. So when I first started riding, I was watching a Skills with Phil video, and he's riding with Win Masters at Whistler. And if you don't know who Win Masters is, I'm sorry. Look him up. He's in the twilight of his career now, but he is an elite level rider. World Cup, and he's won he won an EWS race. Like he's a phenomenal rider. So Skills with Phil was riding with him, and when they were stopping talking, he's like, do you do any training for riding the bike? And Wynn said, I just ride a lot. And then he stops and he says, and I ride a lot at speed. And that always stuck to me, even though lately I haven't been riding very much with intensity, or short of the race run I just did, the race I had last weekend. I really haven't. We've just been working on things and not really riding with intensity or doing full pulls, but it stuck with me. So the third thing about this e-bike is you can ride at speed way more often for a longer period of time, and it helps build your perception of speed. And that is the third benefit of this. I have a story. It's long and drawn out, but I'm going to shorten it up for the video. But I used to, in a previous life, get to hang around with pretty fast motocross guy, and everybody knows his name, but I'm not going to drop it and do that. But we were sitting having dinner one night, and he said, we're talking about something. I said, talking about motocross, and I was like, well, I was going fast, and I'm looking at who I'm talking to, and I'm like, well, I was going fast for me, because, you know. He said, hey man, everybody goes the same speed. And I thought, man, this guy is crazy. What do you mean everybody goes the same speed? I told him, I said, dude, you rode with me, we do not go the same speed. You know, like you're winning Supercross championships, and I'm trying to win a local motocross race. You know, we don't go the same speed. He says, no, here's the thing you don't understand. He's like, when you're in the zone going as best you can, and I'm in the zone going the best I can, it feels the exact same way mentally. Like it feels the same. So everybody does go the same speed. So if a slow guy tells you he was going fast, don't get offended and think that he's talking about he's going faster than you. He's going what he perceives to be as fast in his mind, right? So that's the conversation we're having. And he says, so when you tell me you're going fast, I know what you mean. You're going fast for you. You're riding well, you're in the zone, whatever. So we get to talking about it, and he elaborates by saying, the only difference between you and I, him and me, is our perception of speed is different. So what you got to do is you got to try to ride that balance of going a little past your comfort zone, but not crashing in all the time and getting hurt, you know, until you raise your perception of speed and your idea of what speed is. Well, the e-bike, for me, lets me ride at a faster rate on flatter, boring trails, which technically are less dangerous, but you get more accustomed to the speed, therefore moving my perception of speed and making my overall speed faster. So I hope that makes sense. But that is my 3 thoughts on the e-bikes that I really feel like most people don't realize. Perfect for low intensity training recovery rides. They help build your upper body because now you're doing all the same moves, but you're doing it on a much heavier bike. And then 3, it helps with your perception of speed because you can ride at speed more often as I run into a tree. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you would hit that like button, or please hit the subscribe button. I know a lot of the people that watch my videos don't, and it's okay if you can't, but if you would, please do. It would help me a lot. And maybe we'll see you next time.